Hi Aries, this is Wishko the Ferret. Thanks for hopping into the Ferret Den where we're keeping things warm and we're keeping things cozy. Today we have a reading for you for April 17th to the 23rd. Now, the only thing to consider for this cycle is that we have a new moon in Aries. Again, we have a second new moon, only this one is a hybrid solar eclipse. You'll mainly see it as a solar eclipse, but I'm seeing a lot of articles about it being a hybrid solar eclipse. So if that is something that you are interested in capitalizing the energies on, or if you want to know how it affects your sign, go ahead and check out your favorite astrologer. We don't do astrological forecasts on this channel, but I will dive into your reading. So as always, drop into your heart space, Aries. Let the dust spiritually, physically, and emotionally settle around and within you so that you can determine which messages are for you, which messages are for others. Oh, and I forgot to say the date. That eclipse is on the 20th, by the way. So right in the middle of this week. So that being said, while you get centered, I will say my prayer. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for casting your light of protection around me at this time. Thank you for helping me chase away the dark so that I can connect with Aries' highest love and light. Thank you for allowing me, angel team and spirit team, to connect with Aries' sun, moon, rising, or anyone who happens to be coming across this message at this time and is in need of one. For the 17th to the 23rd. What do we got? Ooh, let's clarify that. What does that mean? Okay. That's going to make it easier. Okay, Aries. So, what we have for you, so in your general energies this week, you have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles being this new opportunity. I'm hearing the word return. I'm not really sure why I'm hearing the word return. Maybe you're like returning to some old gift or old situation that you've had, or some type of old opportunity is coming up that's good that you might have regretted missing, or some type of opportunity that's reintroducing itself in which you can return to an old way of, or like an old skill set that maybe you haven't used in a while, or some type of old, it's like returning to, but it's like returning to something good, returning to something that was missed, or maybe returning to something that was once lost. But like the good. So like, I know oftentimes they say, oh, out with the old, in with the new, or like, that's enough of the old. Like, we're constantly pushing forward. And, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of, I think it's okay to revisit some old things so long as they serve us well, right? Because like, you also have the star here. So like, it's something about like, this opportunity will help you utilize your gifts. This is an opportunity. I mean, Ace of Pentacles could be a new financial opportunity, but this is just, it could be, there's something here about it being disguised as something that might not look that great. So you have to use your own intuition to like figure out if this is the right thing for you, but you need to go into it with the right mentality. You need to go into this opportunity with the right mentality. Otherwise it could seem overbearing. But if you go into it with the right mentality, it could be, or if you go into it with the wrong mentality, it could seem overbearing. But if you go into it with the right mentality, then it can actually be something that greatly serves you in the long run. But it is something that utilizes your gift. It's something that allows you to give to yourself and also allows you to give back to other people. So you have the Queen of Wands, so you're moving forward confidently this week. This is something where like you're pushing forward. I mean, all your endeavors here, they're saying something about all of your endeavors. So perhaps something that you've been working for is coming to fruition and you are pushing forward on those. It's almost like when I see the Queen of Wands, even or the king. It's kind of like you're running your own kingdom here, especially with you are like directing your will in like on stable ground, and you are being a powerful manifester. You're quite literally, this is something you've brought into your reality. So you're like big on your manifestation at this time. You're big on your manifestation energy. I love to see it, Aries, especially with the new moon in your sign. I'm not sure how that quite affects you, but that's something that I think can really, like, this for whatever reason I feel like is taking you to the next level, and it's something that you have to balance too, because again with the Magician I feel like you are creating better opportunities for yourself, or you're creating, just make sure you're not creating more steps to get to your goal, but that you're just going straight for it. That you're going straight for it, you're making a beeline for it, you're charging ahead, because you can manifest anything at this time. So just watch where your power is going and make sure that you're trying not to manifest things that actually, like, make sure you're actually manifesting the things that you want and not extra steps to get there. So if you have limiting beliefs about, you know, oh, I have to work super, super hard for success, and then you imagine all of these, you imagine like 100 steps to get to your goal, rather than the 10 that you would probably actually need to get to your goal. So just keep that in mind, that, you know, you make sure that you are manifesting the steps, like the journey. You can't really, sometimes you can't really pick the journey. It kind of has a mind of its own, but we can definitely create obstacles depending on how we look at it. So make sure that you're, like, you know, trying to view everything in a positive light, that you're trusting spirit to also co-create with you, so that you can, you know, and trust whatever feelings come up, even if they're different or they challenge your old mentality or your old ways of thinking, because there's a reason those things are surfacing up. So you have Temperance, so it's a balancing thing at this present moment. It's also patience. So if you're trying to manifest something big, if you're trying to go into your future, if you are aiming for a particular something and you don't quite have it manifested yet, that's okay. Just remember where you are now and trust the process. Almost trust that, you know, you're not going to be there yet, and you might not be there yet until it, you know, until it fully manifests. Like whatever you're wanting to manifest, it takes time. So Temperance is the card of patience. It's the card of, it's the card of balancing things out while you have, like, it's almost like I see you having multiple situations in which you need to have like a heavy hand in all of them, or you need to have some sort of, like, it's almost like, I don't know, I don't really get the sense that you're super, super busy, but it's almost like you have a lot of different priorities and you have to try to manage them all. So that being said, I feel like you're gonna actually do pretty well this week with that. It's just a matter of, again, keeping your head on straight, keeping your eyes on the prize, basically. So in terms of what's going to be challenging this week, we have the Lovers and the Seven of Swords. That's kind of why I sigh, because I'm like, oh, those of you that are currently in a love situation, and again, if you're like in a happy relationship, or things are going well with like one of the people you're dating, that's fine. Or like, even if you don't have a love life, like completely disregard that, because there's two different messages to this depending on your situation. So with the Lovers, this is, you know, indicating a love relationship. Seven of Swords could mean that they're hiding something from you, but again, use your intuition. If it's something that you've been suspecting, I feel like open communication is the way to go, or at least should be the way to go. You should be able to openly speak to your partner about things without having to fear repercussions, without having to worry about someone behind your back. This could be some potential challenges. It's not that, like, I guess in some cases either a lover is hiding something from you, or that we are concerned that somebody is stealing from us in some way, or hiding something from us, because with the Seven of Swords, that is kind of a, like, you know, sucking energy out and go. So it could also be just love in general that is draining your energy. You don't even have to be in a relationship in order to feel this energy of feeling just very drained from love, or feeling like, whether it's the mentality that you're bringing, or whether it's like something that your partner is doing that's causing you to feel a certain way. It's almost like, honestly, and the reason why I say this, and I'm just going to hop right over here, I'll get back to singles in a little bit, but the reason why I say that it could be like fear, like manifestations of fear in your own mind, is because what's going to make your life easier is Ace of Cups and the Devil. So it's recognizing that there's some type of healthy or toxic pattern here with the Devil, and also the Ace of Cups is almost like being emotionally full, or having like a recognizing like the abundance in your own cup, and recognizing that you're overflowing with that love. But it's almost like, I almost feel like some of us feel like we need validation from someone else. As kind of what I'm getting. It's almost like you have this illusion that you need something from the other person, but you really don't need that because it's all within. Does that make sense? I mean, like, that's pretty general, but that feels like specifically what's in this energy. Like, this information feels like, this energy feels like it's holding the information of, I feel like I have to get this approval or validation from somebody else. I don't like the way that they're acting, even though I know it's, I mean, it could be shady, but it also might not be shady depending on how I'm looking at it. It's because I'm looking at it in a weird way, and perhaps I'm the one with the issue. It's like, I mean, we all have issues. So that's not really what I mean. And I don't really want to say it's issues or problems, but it is something to be worked through, and that could hinder your experience or your value of life. For some of you, if you're single, this could be like the Lovers is a reflection of the self. So dealing with the shadow side of yourself. And then as you keep pondering all of your shadow aspects, it's draining your energy. So there's something here about like kind of pondering or meandering on some icky energy of some sort. And in some cases, yes, you might need distance, or you have to remove yourself from a person or a situation in order to gain a clear head. And sometimes it's not even anybody's fault. It's not even your fault. There's no fault to, like, there's no blame to place. It's just a matter of, I need to take some time until I feel emotionally and mentally right. And then I can hop back into this thing or whatever it is. So that being said, I mean, and it's the same deal for singles, for people who are looking for love, blah, blah, blah. What's going to make your life easier is noticing the abundance within you, noticing, like, don't let it overtake your power. Don't let this devil energy, this feeling of, like, this feeling of insecurity take over your being, okay? Because you have all that it takes within you in order to move forward. So it's just recognizing that, and it's truly, like, taking back your power here. So just make sure you're taking back your power there. So you also have, for your oracle cards, you have straddling worlds, wandering between realms. And I'm going to go pull the book on this one because I don't really ever get this card. But wandering between the realms is actually a beautiful book. Or it's a beautiful card. But it's being comfortable in two states, wandering between realms, reinvention. When the straddling worlds card shows up, it's an invitation to get used to living with one foot in your old world and one foot in the new. There was no going back to the way things once were, and what will be is not yet fully here. You must find the delicate balance that can bring you delight as you relish the past and all your memories, along with awe as you glimpse the astonishing and exciting future. Do not wait for applause. Move on quietly, humbly, invisible to others. This card brings an invitation to begin not only a new chapter, but a new book in your life. Do not break the news to anyone. Let people be as surprised as you are as you reinvent yourself. Make sure you are not just a slightly improved and more polished version of a dated and obsolete you. Birth yourself into someone original. Do not feel like you have to explain yourself or be understood by anyone. Become a mystery even to yourself. Gaze into the mirror one morning and be pleasantly surprised. Straddling Worlds invites you to become a true wizard, not one who performs magic tricks, but one who has mastered the dance between the visible and the invisible worlds, between the realms of form and formless. You are the birther of new ideas, of original and sustainable ways of being in the world. So, I'm going to let that be a standalone message in itself. And, oh, interesting. So, as I'm picking up the deck, I had moved it earlier, and I guess there's also one here. Crown Games, Right Use of Power happens to be sitting here. As I've said, make sure that you're a powerful being. Make sure that you are using your power, okay? Make sure that you are taking back your power and using it appropriately, because it can cause just as much destruction in you as it can, like, creating things around you. And I'm not saying spiritual energy of like, oh, I'm worried about manifesting the wrong thing if I spend all my time thinking about negative things. That fear alone is gonna send you in a spiral, and it's just not worth anybody's time. But it really is, like, we have power in our thoughts, we have power in our awareness, and that in itself conducts our energy. Does that make sense? So if we are thinking about negative things all day, then we're going to feel exhausted and tired and drained and irritable at the end of the day, obviously, right? But if you're thinking about, like, the love, light, the positive, it's coming from a space of gratitude. And it's not always easy. It is a mentality you have to train yourself into enacting. But once you do that, it's actually pretty easy to maintain a state of gratitude. Even through challenges become a lot easier when you come from a state of gratitude. So, why wouldn't you use your power that way? Why wouldn't you direct it to a great, like feeling like a grateful energy and abundant energy, but you could still work towards getting more for yourself. But, you're still in a state of, I accept the present and fully surrender into what it is. So I'm going to pull 2 more cards for you and then roll your dice here. We have Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. So y'all have very strong intuition at this time. Y'all know the moves that need to be made. You know the direction you need to go in. Medicine Mother is with honor your inner knowing, especially when she's the Medicine Mother. She knows exactly what she needs to heal. She knows the steps that she has to take and what she has to do to heal. So if you have been fighting off the feeling of wanting to, journal or sit down and reflect on a problem, if you have been fighting off the feeling of, oh, I know that I actually need to go. I just heard like nurse. So like if you're fighting off the urge to even go to a doctor, and you know that, you kind of know what you need. You know that your physical health needs tending to and you haven't been tending to it. This could be physical, but this could also be intuitive as well. Like this is mostly intuitive, but for whatever reason the physical message is coming through of like, I know I need to go see a doctor. It's like, I know I need to make that appointment. We're just putting it off. Not that there's like a bad omen in this if you don't. I'm just throwing it out there that like your intuition knows what you should be doing right now. So do it. This isn't me pushing you. When it all comes down to it, it's just, I don't want to push anybody or pressure anybody, but like if the message comes through, like, okay, they know they need to do this, but just tell them they need to do it anyway. That's one of those things. So, lastly, I'm going to pull a card for, just for around the solar eclipse time, just to see like around like, like a midweek pick-me-up type of deal. And I might do a different reading on this too if I have time this week. But just specifically for like a collective, specifically for like a new moon or this new moon eclipse energy. You have dream. Have a cup of tea in the garden and find yourself in a good book. For some of you, that is your inner medicine. For some of you, that is the way that you're going to be replenishing and relaxing, like just that. Sitting in a garden with some tea, opening up a good book. For some of you, it could be just taking that rest that you know you need, but really playing in the imagination this week and taking some time to breathe in that. There's so much that can be achieved just from the act of dreaming. Not only do you achieve that physical rest, in your state of being, depending on how you dream. I guess some people can dream by going out for a jog, but when you're sitting down, when you're daydreaming, or when you're allowing yourself to play in your imagination through other means, even if it's something from like, it's just like actively using it. I don't want to say passively using it, because I guess you can, like, you're actively using it when you're imagining things with a book, but like if you're watching TV, the scene is already shown before you. If you're playing video games, the scene is already before you. But when you're actively creating with your imagination, you're actively generating images, generating thoughts and different ideas. That's kind of the active dream state that you would have to take at some point this week. That could help ease, not saying you have to, but that could help ease some of the challenges of this week and help you kind of get your head on straight a little bit. And then, of course, last but not least, we're going to pull from the Angel Numbers by Kyle Gray. We're going to roll your dice here before I send you on your way, Aries. Let's see what you got. 34. Oh, it has fallen. I'm going to grab that. I would have left it alone, but one of them is like a little rubber, cute little rubber dinosaur thing. It's like a pencil topper, and my ferrets are going to get... They like rubber things, and they'll just run away with everything. 34. They stash my pens all the time, so I gotta watch. 34. Okay. Sorry, Aries. Anyway, you are being connected to universal masters for inspiration and insights that will guide you on your journey. Trust in your feelings. One more time. You are being connected to universal masters for inspiration and insights that will guide you on your journey. Trust in your feelings. So again, this doesn't have to be like a process that you actively have to engage in, but I do feel like they are enveloping you behind the scenes. They are conducting your energy behind the scenes. Like, it's like, obviously you are the puppeteer of your own life, but the image that they're showing me are like a bunch of ascended masters with strings kind of pushing and pulling you, but it's not in the way that is like controlling, because you still have ultimate control. Like, it's not like you are the puppet, but they are adding their influences like in your daily life and weaving into your daily life. You don't have to like actively sit, because if you're someone who's really busy like me, you might be like, oh my gosh, do I have to set aside time to like listen and try to receive, or like try to intuit like what they need me to do, or like anything like that. No, you don't need to do that. I mean, like, again, they're so interwoven into our lives. They can direct us as we move through life. Spirit does that very often, and actually that's the best way to move with spirit, is to live in the physical and move in such a way that, so long as we're moving from our heart space, spirit is always directing us. That being said, Aries, that concludes your reading. Thank you so much for checking in with the Ferret Den. Thank you for allowing me to read your energy. Thank you to your spirit energies, and thank you to my spirit energies for allowing me to connect with your collective energy. I really do appreciate it. I love you. I love you. I love you guys. If this resonated with you in any way, go ahead, like and subscribe down below. That way you don't miss content from me. I am launching a Patreon here soon, so don't forget to keep an eye out for that as well. And yeah, that's all. I'll see you next time. Bye.